Hello student, welcome to my channel LP EduTech. Now today I am going to give you the summary of the poem Cherry Tree Standard 11. If you are really new to my channel, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. So let us look at the poem and its summary Cherry Tree from the different point of view, that is the updated format of the paper. That is, first we are going to look about the poem, poet, title, then theme, summary, gist of the poem, poetic style, languages, poetic devices used in the poem, special features, novelties, that is focused elements in the poem, as well as the messages, the value and morals in the poem, and at last your opinion about the poem. From this point of view we are going to judge the poem. So just stay tuned and stay together. The poem Cherry Tree is written by Ruskin Bond. The title itself suggests that the poem is pertaining to cherry tree, that it's about the cherry tree. By the title we come to know it very well. It is a nature poem as it has elements of nature in it. So what category it comes? So it is the nature poem. And the poem vividly, that is very clearly, describes the planting of a cherry seeds by the poet and how against all odds or the calamities, all the problems and difficulty, the little plant continues to grow. The poem highlights the tree's strong instincts and desire to survive. The plant finally transforms into a 6 feet high tree with flowers on it. It is a very mesmerizing sight to behold. That is very capturing sight to consider. The poet is overjoyed when he sees it. He glorifies one little ripened cherry hanging from the tree's branches. So he just glorifies, he is very much happy and ecstasy over the one little ripened cherry hanging from the tree's branches. He is in awe of the beauty and wonders of nature. The poet refers to the blue sky, birds, insects, and also the starry night sky in his context, and how each one of them, including the poet, complements the cherry tree. The style, language used in the poem is simple and lucid. Now it is about the style. Now poetic devices. The poetic devices like alliteration, anticlimax, antithesis, climax, consonants, metaphor, personification and repetitions have been used to make the poem alluring to the readers and to set the overall mood of the poem. Let us look at the examples. The very opening line of the poem Cherry Tree is, 8 years have passed since I placed my cherry seeds in the grass. It indicates the alliteration. Now how it is alliteration? The sound of the letter S. The sound of the letter S is repeated for poetic effects. So it is alliteration. Even the consonants, the sound of the letter S has been repeated in the line. 8 years have passed since I placed my cherry seeds in the grass. So sound S is repeated. So it is alliteration. Next one. Must have a tree of my own. So this one. Must have a tree of my own, I said, and watered it once and went to bed. These two lines. So the alliteration, the sound of letter W is repeated for the poetic effect. See, watered it once and went to bed, so WW. Must have a tree of my own, I said, and watered it once and went to bed. So WW is repeated for the poetic effect, so it is alliteration. Consonants, the consonant sound of the letter D has been repeated in the line. I said the and watered it once and went to bed. D. So D sound is repeated. So consonants. Repetition. Now what is repetition? The word and has been repeated in the line to highlight the fact that the poet watered the plant once daily before going to bed. So here is the word and. Next. And forgot, but cherries have a way of growing, though no one caring very much or knowing. So here the figures of speech is anticlimax. It is opposite of climax where ascending order is given. Okay, so it is anticlimax or descending order. The words in the sentences caring and knowing have been arranged. So descending, caring and knowing. You see this word caring and knowing, these two words. And here is a personification also. Personification means what? The cherries have been given the animate quality of growing. Okay, the human beings is growing, grows, the animate things grows, but here cherry has the quality of human being and it grows. So it is personification. Next, and suddenly that summer near the end of May, I found a tree had come to stay. So it is alliteration. Alliteration that the sound of letter S and T has been repeated for the poetic effect. So when the same sound is effect or the letters are repeated for the poetic effects, it is alliteration. The sound of letter S and T. Suddenly that summer as near the end of May, I found a tree had come to stay. So S and T is repeated silently. Personification also. The tree has been given the animate quality of coming to stay. Does tree come to stay? No, but here poet says it has coming to stay. So it is a personification. Okay, the animate qualities are given to the inanimate things. So that is personification. Next one. It was very small, 5 months child, lost in the tall grass running wild. It is antithesis. How it is antithesis? The word small and tall. The word one is opposite. Okay, similar and opposite. Two words are shown here, tall and small. They have been used in the same sentences to show how the small cherry plant was lost in the tall grass that had grown all around it. So when such type of words are used, synonyms and antonyms. One is small, opposite of it is tall. So it is called as antithesis. Even it indicates the metaphor as well. The cherry plant has been compared to a child. It was very small, 5 months child. So it is indirectly comparison with the child of 5. Okay, the child of 5 months. So the cherry plant has been compared to a child that is 5 months old to indicate the size of the plant. So it is a metaphor. And here one more example of personification. That is, the tall grass has been given the animate quality of running wild. It's running wild, running here and there, that is growing in the sense. So it is the personification when the tall grass has been given the animate quality of running wild. Next one. The goats ate the leaves, the grass cutters sighed, split it apart and monsoon blight, shriveled the slender stem, dash even so. It is alliteration. Now how it is? The sound of the letter G and S is repeated for the poetic effect. G. See. The goats ate the leaves for the grass cutter scythe, split it apart and monsoon light. Consonants. The consonant sound of the letter S and T has been repeated in the line. So two figures of speech, alliteration and consonants. Next. Now next spring I watched 3 new shoots grow. 3 new shoots grow. It is a consonance. The consonant sound of the letter R has been repeated in the line. See, the next spring I watched 3 new shoots grow. Spring 3, so it is repeated. Next one, the young tree struggle upward thrust its arm in a fresh fierce lust for light and air and sun. That is the next line. Now see here one new figures of speech we are going to introduce. Climax. The word light, air, sun. You see this light, air and sun. So it is what? It have been arranged in the increasing order of the importance. And when such things are arranged, the words or the sentences arranged in this way, in increasing order of the importance, then it is called as a climax. Previously we saw one figure of speech, that is anticlimax, and now here is the climax, increasing order, and in anticlimax, decreasing order. Keep in mind, for light and air and sun, so that is what? Increasing order. This is the climax. Even it has a consonance. How? The constant sound of the letter R has been repeated in the line R. Now see which one it is. The young tree, see, the young tree struggle upward thrust its arms in fresh fierce lust for light, air and sun. So R here it is repeated. Struggle, tree, thrust. So T, R here is got repeated. Personification as well. Let us see how. The tree has been given the animate quality of struggling to move upward and having arms. So tree is struggling here. Okay, moving upwards and giving struggle to move upward and go ahead and having arms. Next one. Now who watched wondering? Now see, this is important. Who watched wondering while time and rain made miracle from green growing pain? Here the alliteration, because the sound of letter W, who watched wondering, W, W, W. Okay, the first letter W, W, W is repeated. Who watched wondering while time and rain. So 4 words beginning with the word W is continuously. So it gives very good sound effects. So it is alliteration. The sound of letter W, M and G made miracle, MM, and green growing, GG, MM, GG and W. It's repeated. So that has been repeated for the poetic effect. So it is the alliteration figures of speech. Next, even it has a personification. Personification because time and rain have been given the animate quality of making a miracle from the green growing pain. Who makes miracle? Time and rain. So these 2 things are making miracles, and they having the animate quality of making miracle from the green growing pain, meaning that they transform the plant suffering from the blight and helped it grow miraculously. So in this way. So just we have gone through the more poetic devices from the poem. Let us continue our critical appreciation of the poem. So this is what I told: the alliteration, climax, anticlimax, antithesis, consonance, metaphor, personification and repetition. These have been used to make the poem alluring to the readers and to set the overall mood of the poem. And even the one example of personification here I just want to highlight: and moon moths and singing crickets and I, where the crickets have been given the animate quality of being able to sing. Moon moth. So this is the example of personification one more, and moon moth and singing cricket and I. So where the crickets have been given the animate quality of being able to sing. Even it has a very vivid, that is a variety of imagery that has been used by the poet to make the whole process of the seed turning into a plant that appealing to the readers. The poet has focused on the wonders of nature by making use of natural elements like various seasons, the sky, the animals, birds, and the insects. So, wonders of nature he has used here, just for making use of natural elements. Seasons, skies, animals, birds, and insects are focused. So here the poet has focused on these wonders of nature and making use of natural elements like the seasons, skies, animals, and birds, insects, and even the underlying message of the poem is to plant trees and reap joy from them. Plant trees and just get joy from them. Keep watching how do they grow, what fight they give, what struggle they give, how much they give the struggle against the calamities of nature, how much they have a strong desire to fight against it. It's a really appealing one. It also highlights the importance of trees in our surrounding. Right? So it gives the message that without struggle, without fight, and without any sacrifice, you won't get anything or you won't get success in your life. Whole life you have to struggle, then and then only you will get the fruit. Its fruit, that means you will get its success. And even it highlights the importance of trees in our surrounding, as it is the home for the bees, insects, animals. Okay, even how selflessly it gives us fruit. Even after struggling, it does not keep it with them. It gives us to us. Overall, I think the poem is good and read worthy. It is quite appealing as it portrays the detailed and colorful picture before our eyes of a little plant growing into a blooming tree, overcoming the hardships that lay in its path. So this is the really best poem, and it is one of the best poem of the Ruskin Bonds, and it has the optimistic view. So you must read the poem. Okay, thank you. So here our critical appreciation ends.